That's the premise of this website. So this website tracks prices of different items and it lets you know how much you've lost out in Bitcoin terms. So it's called if you bought Bitcoin instead of freaking stupid shit, you'd have this amount of money. So let's click here. It can't be this bad, right? So if you bought Bitcoin instead of a Mac Pro wheel set, which the original price of this wheels for a computer for this Mac was $700, released on 420 of 2020, you would now have $10,000 instead of $700. If you bought Bitcoin instead of a 4-hour chef, you'd have $92,000 original purchase price of 0.89 Bitcoin in 2012. Oh my god. If you bought Bitcoin instead of a Tinder Gold subscription, you would now have $3,900 instead of $10, which was a zero point 0.4 Bitcoin purchase in 2015. Kyle Jenner lip kit, you'd have $34,000. Sapiens, oh lord, this Sapiens book by this lizard man, you'd have $86 million. Holy cow, that's crazy. You'd have $260,000 for this jersey. Coachella tickets, that's an opportunity cost. Although, I'm a music fan. Maybe that's not a bad trade if you saw like a life-changing performance. VR headsets. So you can click through. This website's just the best. Yeah, there we go. This is the classic shake weight. You'd have 29 million, or no, $29 billion if you bought it. Well, in 2009, but still, like the fact that this is real, folks. Like literally, if you knew about Bitcoin on July 1st of 2009 and you bought some, you have $29 billion. Oh my gosh. So let's take a peek at the Bitcoin price over the past 10 years. I think it's kind of fun always to look at the Bitcoin price 1 year ago from the exact date that you're on, just to give you a perspective. But then you can look back even further in time to give you even better perspective and kind of see how far we've come. And it kind of gives you a perspective and levels out some of the recent volatility, whether that be up or down. So we're at 103,539 right now. This is kind of cool. ChatGPT can give you actual price data directly within the web browser here. But so right now we're at 103K. At this time last year, we were at 67,000. Let me scroll up here. So this is the power of Bitcoin in a bull run. I mean, just look at the last 3 years return. We've gone from 27K up to $104,000. So if you just bought a couple years ago and held, you'd be up massively right now. That's like, what, almost a 4x. Of course, most of us probably got back in during the last bull market. And so we're probably not up that clean amount. I got in around here somewhere. And so obviously these were bad buys, within context. So these buys are only up like one or 2x, something like that only. But it's really when you look back, and I mean, if you look back all the way 10 years, I mean, this is ludicrous how much it's come in the last 10 years. So really, I mean, yeah, there are some variants. There are some years where it's going to go down during that bear. Typically, the first year after the bull, it's going to go down. So we had a big drop from 9 to 6. Then we had this big drop here from 55 to 30, 31, and then even further here. But then it rebounds. So it's just kind of managing your own emotions, really. Like if you understand the concepts of Bitcoin, the scarcity, there's only 21 million of them, and that basically they can't make any more Bitcoin. So as more people want the existing Bitcoin, they can't really produce any more. So there's more demand, but there can't be more supply. So the only release valve there is the price. So the only thing that can happen is as more demand comes up for this limited amount of supply of Bitcoin is that the price increases. And that's why it's so important to actually possess the Bitcoin that you own, actually take custody of it. So that way a third party can't rehypothecate it and just print more paper Bitcoins and sell them. And then that would lead to price suppression. So if you're deep into this and you have some Bitcoin, take self custody of it and that keep it away from Wall Street and the suits who are going to mess around with the price action, because there really is nothing that can stop this train as long as the Bitcoin network stays secure, stays decentralized, there's only really one direction here, because it's going to keep attracting buyers because the price keeps increasing, and that price increase attracts more people because they say, hey, maybe I should buy some of that because the price goes up. And then they dig deeper and learn more about it and learn about the scarcity. And again, it's just amazing. I mean, look at this price appreciation. And this is like 2015. This is like 6 years after it was formed. And so this isn't even like that unfair of a comparison. But I mean, we're just doing multiples and multiples and multiples and multiples and multiples. So just hang on as long as you can. Don't become a forced seller of Bitcoin and lose it and then regret it. If there are things that you need in your life that you need to sell Bitcoin for, that's fine. But just understand what you're trading your Bitcoin for and what the future might hold if you hang on to it.